every year they put out AFG, Assistance to Firefighters grants, and a lot of the equipment that we had here was very old, outdated, and it wasn't up to specs with the NFPA, the National Fire Protection Agency. Our SCBA bottles that we wear when we go into the fires, they're only good for 10 years, and ours were coming up on 10 years. To replace them was a lot of money, well over $100,000, and with the current state of the economy, coming up with $100,000 wasn't going to be easy. So I started researching from there to get the air packs. And the more research I did, I found that we could qualify for some other equipment as well. So I originally wrote the grant just for the SCBAs, and the more research I did, I realized that I could also apply for other tools that we desperately needed. We now have battery-operated jaws of life. I applied for those because our other set was very old. And then also our cascade system, the unit to fill the SCBAs, was coming up on 25 years old. We were having lots of problems with it, so I decided to ask for that as well. So I asked for 3 very big pieces of equipment. I hoped to get some of it. I never expected to get all of it, and we got it all.
And explain what SCBA means.
Self-contained breathing apparatus are the packs we wear on our backs when we go into the fires. Technology is always changing on those. And always have the latest and greatest technology behind you when you go into a fire is a definite plus. The equipment that I spec'd out was $180,000 worth of equipment. Our match, we had to match 10% of the equipment. The federal government ended up writing us a check for $163,000. We put in $16,000 about there, so $180,000 final. So we filled out the grant within a month. I turned it in early December, and then they started reading off who won the grants in, I believe it was March. They start from March and they go through the entire year, and we got the grant first round, whole amount. As soon as they started giving grants, we received the grant. Scott Marinkovich wrote our last grant, so he had all the paperwork and all our numbers and filled out for that. But the guys on my shift were very helpful. Brian Finran helped me a ton, as well as the new guys come in. Mike Storms and Lee Radowski, they helped me quite a bit. And of course, my captain Gary Gallo put me in the position to do it. I'm really happy to get it. The equipment that we had was very old, very antiquated. We take you out to show you the new stuff we have now. You'll see there's a very big difference, and I'm very happy we got it. We needed the equipment. This is the SCBA unit that we purchased. We had multiple vendors in. We tested all the SCBAs. We found that this was the best one for us. It also came in at the best price. A lot of changes in the SCBAs. First of all, the mask on it had a wider range of vision. The old masks were very small, couldn't see as much. This is also the curved to it where you can see. The mask on this one was the major selling point. If you turn the bottle on, it'll turn on. You're all set to put the unit on. The beautiful thing about this mask and the unit is once you power it up, it's ready to go. Put the mask on. It has a built-in microphone. Don't have to turn it on. The other one, it had a separate unit, a separate battery. Put the mask on, and once the mask is on, you can breathe normal air, and when we're ready to go into the fire, you press the button, and the puts you on air. So you pull up the house, turn it on, you're ready to go. The amplifier works. Put it in your mouth. So very easy to use. You pull up to a You pull up to a house fire, you can come out of the truck, everything on, you can grab the line, walk up to the front door, press the button, go in. Where before there was a lot of fumbling, there was a large regulator you had to put in to turn on the voice amplifier, which never worked. You can see the white on here, so he can look at it, he knows that you're not breathing air from the tank. The lights on it turn on, and the lights will change colors too when the air starts to come down. So whoever's in charge of the fire, the captain or the chief on scene, can see, okay, this person, their bottle's half full, their bottle is all the way full. And they'll let them know, hey, you forgot to push this down, push it down, go in. But everything is designed so the person who's in charge of the fire has visual of everybody where they're at and how much air they have. All right, this is our new cascade system. You see it's made by Bauer, the same family that makes your ice skates and all the sports items. We've got a fully enclosed unit since the only place we have in our old fire station here is the boiler room. We wanted to get a unit that we could fully encase. So the compressor is all in here. We just had it wired today. This is the first time we've used it. Our old system was, like I said, between 20 and 25 years old. We're not really sure how old it was, and the amount of electricity that it would burn was quite a bit. It would run and run and run and run. So when I wrote the grant, I put in that this is what we wanted. It would help save the city money. It'd be a benefit to the firefighters, have a nice, reliable piece of equipment. So the new systems, they have the 2 ports in them. We put our air bottles in here, and then as an added layer of protection, shut the door in case anything goes wrong with the tank. As you can see, it's automated. It's a very nice unit. We're happy to have it. We used it today for the first time. It worked great.
What does this do different than what you had before?
In essence, it's the same. It fills the bottles, but this our bottles that were in our back, they go to 4,200 pounds, and our old system would go to 4,300 pounds. So you'd have to fill the bottles and continuously fill the bottles on the system in order to fill the bottles that go in our SCBAs. So this one will go to 6,000 pounds. So once it pumps up to 6,000 pounds, we can put our bottles in. We can fill them up right away. We're not continuously running the machine. And also, when you fill the bottles too fast, the bottles will get hot. And when they get hot, you can't fill them completely, fully. So with this unit, 6,000 pounds in it, we can open it, we can fill it very slow. We want all the air that we can get when we're in a fire. This unit allows that for us. Also, it's a lot more efficient energy-wise. It's 30 years newer, and it's a lot more efficient. All right, as part of the grant too, I also wrote for brand new extrication equipment, which consists of cutters, spreaders, and a ram. I argued in the grant that our old equipment, first of all, it wasn't strong enough to deal with all the new exotic metals that they're using. They're using different metals, steels, aluminums. So you continuously need to get equipment that's stronger and stronger and stronger. So this is stronger than our old hydraulic ones, and they're battery operated. In essence, there's a hydraulic pump inside here. The hydraulic pump is worked by a 25-volt battery. These batteries, you can charge them, and they'll sit for an entire year and hardly lose any of their charge. We had some cars here that we cut up. We charged the batteries. We worked with them for hours. The batteries came down from full to half. They worked great. The biggest advancement, though, is that they're so much quieter on scene. The old units were they'd run on a 5-horsepower Briggs & Stratton motor, and that ran a hydraulic pump. So we had lines running everywhere. We had lots of noise. It's usually a pretty chaotic scene in the middle of a road. These are quiet. You can hear the orders. We can communicate better, and unbelievably, they're stronger too. The jaws of life are one of those things that we don't use them that often, thankfully. But when we do use them, we want to make sure that we have the best possible equipment and the best possible trained personnel using it. When we got these, we got lots of training. We brought in 3 separate cars. Westland Car Care donated 3 cars, and we put on a couple hours of training 3 days in a row. And said we don't use them all the time, which is good, but when we do need them, they're ready. Already got some beauty marks in them. As far as the rest of the grant goes, It was a long shot, and I just did a lot of studying. I did a lot of homework, and took a shot at it, and we're real happy we got it. And, I'm learning more and more about the process, and I'm going to continuously try to write more grants in the future.